in your story, yes, there are two specific occasions where when you are in a need of money, if there had not been money, you may not be made that very step. Be it one is during your studies, BSc, MSc, and one is during your critical time of 2008, wherein bank denied, your friends supported. So how do you see that, and what was a major lesson that you took from it, and what was your response to the society in that case?
See, my take on this is it's not how much you earn, but how many friends you have, or what kind of support system you have. Because sometimes we get bogged into the what we are doing. We say we don't have time for friends. We don't know. I just want to be with my family. Now the family definition is getting smaller and smaller, unfortunately. Like one kid, parents, that's it, only three
Yeah.
people. And then the kid goes to, work some other country, then only the parents to each other. But, you know, how much outside, connections you make and how you treat other people, then they treat you the same way. So if you treat them well, they will also treat you well. And you trust them, they will trust you. Like I said, those days, 2000 rupees is a lot of money. And he just gave it. He came for some other purpose. And he was not thinking about, oh, I bought it for this. I want this today. I cannot, share it. He didn't say that. He said, the girl's education is important. Please take the money. That was, biggest dharma he has done. That has helped. It's not just me because like my younger kids and then grandkids and then those generation it changed because of him. Because if I didn't go to college, I would
Yeah.
not think I would have been in US, you know, because my husband would have married some educated girl, right? So the whole history would have been different. The same way when we needed the money here in the country, because the people in India, when they send the money, it's a big company, they have to show their, shareholders that how much they quit. They cannot have outstanding debts. So they kept sending the money, telling us, you need to pay the money, you have to pay the bill. And it was a lot of money. And we couldn't get the loan from the bank. Then the friends said, okay, we'll give you. That also like a lot of money. They gave like $20,000 each. That's a lot of
twenty
money for
thousand
them.
dollars
But
each. Exactly, it's a lot.
yeah, we had to
Exactly.
pay. It was like close to, the debt was around, I think, 60 or $70,000. So that much money, two of my friends and then my kids, so they paid. And that year, my daughter also got married. So we had to take care of that too. But, somehow, like I said, the God sends help. I have seen it in very many times. Whenever I need help, if you uh, you know if a lot of people don't believe in God, but for them they believe, they believe in the universe. So you can substitute God for universe. But if you really want, like, need something, um you know the universe or God, they send it to you. There's a way you will get it. But again, it's a need, not the want. You may not get all you want, but you'll get what you need. So there is a fine difference that we need to understand.
Yeah. I love this quote because I know when I was talking to you during the story conception phase, you spoke about it. I want to dig deep into it. Before that, so your take on it is to build a trustworthy circle wherever you go. And in this high time where very concept of family is getting reduced into number three, into number two, into number one, the very family would be a new normal. A family in new normal, like COVID effect, could be a community that we make for us. So you think that's something you watch for the upcoming generations?
Yes, and also the one more thing is, if you need something, don't be scared to ask your circle. Don't say, "Oh, I don't want my friends to know that I'm in trouble. I don't want them to know that I need the money." sometimes you have to leave your ego. Nobody's, if you're there, your true friends, they're not going to judge you by what you're going through. They're there to help you, hand holding. So when grow up in a bigger family, like with all your cousins, friends, and since Palani, always we had visitors. Everybody coming to the temple, they will come to our house, and sometimes they will stay for 10 days for the Panganutram time, and the Girivala Agni Nakshatra time, Agni Nakshatra Keduval, those times. So we always constantly had people. We interacted with all ages. It's not just, I have to play with only my age friends. I
True.
have seen sometimes, my own kids, sometimes they say, oh, they're too old, they're too young. Wait on, it's not like that. You have to build relationship with all the generations, you know,
Inclusive relation, inclusive
inclusive
community.
relationship.
Ex-
Yeah,
uh,
because see, I'm getting old, but I would like to interact with the younger kids because they can teach me the technology. Because I'm not, I sometimes they joke, I'm a dinosaur when technology is considered, because a lot of things are new. Even when I was working in Coimbatore, that's when the computers were coming in. I remember, the computer used to be in our statistician's room, and if you need to get a data, you have to go to his room, get an appointment, you got to fill up the timesheet. You go there, you read the data, and he will enter it in the computer and give you the results. But then when I came here, we could buy a personal computer. It was wow, I can own a computer. That's a big change. I'm learning a little bit, but still, in Tamil we have something saying, "Katrathu kaiman alavu kalladadu ula alavu." That means whatever you learn is only like the fist
just an
size.
atom. Yeah,
Whatever,
exactly. What we
whatever
don't know is a
you need to
universe.
learn is like the whole universe.
Exactly. So
So
you coil and very new terminology, which I'm going to promote to my nectar, which is create an inclusive community for yourself, irrespective of the gender, age, whatsoever. And you keep growing with this very proverb, which is said, what you learn is just a size of an atom. To be able to learn of universal size, you should be having that inclusive community, not only for learning, but also for flourishing and surviving in a better way. Ah, that's a very good takeaway. Thank you, Andal. And this takes me to the another episode of your story. I completely agree. What you told, the opening statement of you. I'm in terms with that. Even I think uh, uh, Bill Gates have Bill Gates and many of the Jains have said that when they ask them, "Hey, you have been big, rich. What the hard work you have put in." Of course, they speak about your story, but they added it's about the luck as well. I read somewhere, I've been there on the right time. I met the right person. I've been there also on the right location. It could be, for example, Bill Gates. If he was with his friend, but he got an opportunity to meet the professor. He was a dropout. He met the professor who was actually teaching him on a so-called computer, and he got an idea who helped him. So everything what you said, similar stories. All big chains had the same pattern. I get it, but that doesn't mean that the luck alone favored. It is the mindset, something you spotted all through your journey of 40 plus years that made you what you are today, where you stamped your icon in 100 plus countries. And I see your mindset as, never going up back. So, what is that mindset? Can you talk about that?
First, I want to clarify one more thing.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
the lack of word we are using luck,
Huh.
but I don't know if people have read the Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours. So he says if you want to be expert, or if you want to succeed in something, you should have invested 10,000 hours in that.
Yes, we have that
So
saying.
so that's what I see in our life. Like you know we spent from 92 we started the company, but 96 we started selling the grinders, and 2008 we pivoted to Cocotown. But that 10,000 hours of work helped us to gave us the confidence to go to the next level of journey.
Got it.
So And then, sorry, I forgot your question. Can
The
you repeat
question
the
is,
question?
what in your story you had this pursuing mindset? You kept pursuing your, yes, you had the mindset, you met the right person, you had everything, but you had the fire to pursue this. You're not satisfied with something else. But what is that mindset behind it? What kept you going?
I don't know because see, it's not a mindset. Maybe it's my nature.
Okay,
I'm an optimist.
okay.
I always, everything is happening for a reason because, like I said, my grandmother has played a lot of role in shaping me who I am, and she was for women's lib, and I just want to tell a little bit about
Yeah,
her. I
please,
don't know if
please,
it's out
please.
of
You
place
can
or
get.
not.
No, no, you can always talk about it.
She got married when she was 7 years old, and my
Seven. Please
grandfather
also
was
tell the
just
timelines.
27 at that
Please
time.
also tell the timeline. In which timeline it happened? 19?
No, she's in 1800s. She was born in 1800.
1800. Oh, okay.
1800s, like like
Okay.
she passed away in 1990. She passed away in 1999. So she must have born in like early, well, maybe 1900, 1902, something like that. Maybe
Oh,
like early 1900.
so
Okay.
maybe you are talking about
Because she was very
150
close
years
to
back.
100 years.
So you are
Yeah,
like talking 150 years back. Okay. She married at the age
120
of
years
7.
ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then my grandfather was, about 20 years older than her. He was 27. She was the second wife because first wife died. And the
Oh,
first wife daughter was older than my grandmother.
oh
So
man.
she was already married and she had her own kids. Yeah, she was married at the time. And when she was 15, my father was born. And when she was 30, she lost her husband. And she had three sons and one daughter. And she had gone only to third grade. But those days it was in British time, so they taught English there. So even till her death, she could recite all those English poems.
Wow.
But she studied only up to third grade, and then single-handedly she brought up my father was just joined the intermediate they used to call in those days. So like now it's like a plus one plus two in India. When we studied, it was up to 11th grade in school, and then PUC was in college. But when he studied 11th grade, he had to go to college. He went to Trichy to my grandmother's brother's house. He stayed and then went to college. But he had to cut his study start because his father passed away and he had to take over the family business. And then she was the one who managed all the money and made sure all the kids got married. And then that's why she knew the importance of education. And she used to read the newspapers every day. And then when she got old and she had a cataract and then she cannot read, she will ask somebody else to read her the newspaper. Has to know the world news, the national news, local news, everything. And also she was a healer. Like she knew all the homemade medicines and also treating them for muscle sprains, back pains, everything. And then when she is doing that, she also used to talk to them and give them psychological consultation. Because when I was young, I used to think, why is grandma asking all these poking questions about their personal things? But they knew that whatever tells they tell her, it stays with her. They don't, it doesn't go anywhere, but she
Trust
will
and
give them the
confidence.
solutions. So yeah, it's the like nowadays they say, right, that the mind also plays a role in healing your body. So she gave the holistic treatment, treating the mind and also treating the body. So that's how, and she taught us to believe in God and to trust in God. And whatever happens, it's like sometimes it may be from the previous birth, something you did, it's bringing up in this, birth. And will say, you have to leave the earth better than what you found it. So those are the lessons that I follow. So my mindset is like whatever comes, yes, it comes. Maybe I'm just So that's why they say, right? If the door closes, don't worry, maybe the window opens somewhere else. So don't keep looking at the door. So look at the window and see what you can do with that. So if you have that kind of open mindset, I think you can handle anything. So you don't have to worry about what happens right now, because whatever right now, like I said, at that time when I didn't get to BT, I was disappointed. But that opened a better door for me. I could do masters. And then I didn't get the college lecturer post, but that was good because I became a scientist and I became the AIRS. Like I was the first guested officer in our village, like the lady guested officer, so. And then he came here to US and then started the business. And a lot of people commented, "Oh, are you going to make a business out of selling grinders?" And even somebody used to call me like Atakar Alamela was a movie. They'll say Atakalandar. They used to
It's
call me. I said,
it's
"That's
just like
fine."
Karaoke teasing you, the Tamil
Yeah.
words to tease you. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, no, that was a movie. Atakar Alamela was a movie at that time.
Ah, okay,
In
got it.
It's a movie name. So they used to call me Artikalanda, but not because I was selling the grinder. But I didn't pay attention. I said, I'm doing the right thing. The one thing in advice I tell all my people who come to me to start a business or something, don't start a business to make money. See, start a business to help people to solve their problems. Money will come automatically. So if you have that kind of mindset, all these temporary setbacks will not affect you. You will keep going. If you start a business to make money, then when the business goes down, because every 12 years the economic cycle goes down, the recession happens, every 12 years, 20 years, something like that. But it's temporary. It grows back. It doesn't stay there, right? They say whatever goes up has to come down, and whatever comes down, it has to go up again. It's Life is not like a straight line. It's always like, like the heartbeat goes up and
Fluctuation.
down. So if you have that mindset, then you can handle anything. You will not be affected by the ups and downs.
So, to just summarize this for you, your fighting spirit that you had, the propelling spirit, had come from your grandma, who was and is the most modernist woman given her time.
Yeah.
Like, for her, the lesson learned through her life is being open to opportunities. Pick up whatever comes and shine in that, and try to solve problem rather than focusing on the byproducts. Just focus on the actual product, not on the byproduct. In this case, byproducts of money. In case of business, the actual product is solving the problem. So this is something you learn from her life, and that's carried consciously, subconsciously. It was with you, which actually acted as a fire for you. Is it right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so lovely. You know, there's a very new dimension for people who approach business and to have the fight, the fighting spirit. Some other ways, most of the people, at least given our geographical location of south of India, we all have similar kind of propelling factor. And people ask me sometimes, hey Kiran, how you just kept going and going and going? You had all these issues, be it dyslexia, stammering, what are you score less, but still you settled down in Netherlands. You did whatever you wanted to do, at least on the foundation level, be it constructing house for my parents and whatsoever. I just told, yeah, I have done all this because I had this zeal of opportunities, just being opening to it. Okay, I just do. Let me try. What not? I had all this mindset, and also I had a strong mindset of fixing the, if not the society, at least my family, to fix the major problem of my family as well as the inner circle, for which I need to. That gave me the power, and eventually I solved most of the problems of my inner circle. Now also my immediate circle as well. So I could just relate to it to an extent what you speak. Thank you so much, Andal, for this wisdom. There were two occasions I think faced a major pitfall in your business. One is 2008 recession, one is during Corona. Entire globe has fallen down. How about 1999 issue? There was also an issue which happened worldwide. 2000 Y2K problem. That's when you started your business. I think you also faced a problem by then. Did you face any problem by then?
See, the first thing, we started the business in 92. So
Mhm.
2000 did not affect our business that much because it still was in the early stages.
Okay.
And 2008 recession affected us. And then 2020, when the pandemic happened, we were expecting a
Yeah.
recession, but we had a
Yeah.
pandemic that affected. We had a lots of sales and everything. But what the fortunate thing with 2020 was the government had some funding, so they gave something called a PPP loan, the payroll plan. So they gave some money to pay the employees.
Oh, wow.
So we had to lay them off for I think for a month. We had to lay them off, but they got some relief from the government, and also we got a PPP loan, so we could bring them back to the workforce. So I think 2 months they had to get the government assistance, so we had to lay off because for 2 3 weeks we could not open the business. But then they gave an exception for the manufacturing business, but still we couldn't bring everybody back. We got to just bring like a skeletal number of people, like one or two people for manufacturing, one person for taking the administrative roles. And then after 2 months the government gave the loan, so that sustained us through the end of the year. But then during the time we also learned it's no use. We were fortunate, but we had all this government support. But countries like in Philippines, and some South American countries like Ecuador and Colombia, people couldn't even go to their farms to harvest the parts. So there was so much strict, isolation was enforced, and people could not go out. They were stuck inside the house. Then that's when the Zoom platform got popular. So a lot of webinars happened through the Zoom. Then we said, okay, we need to help the community. So we came up with the idea, okay, we have a lot of people in the industry that we know, we have a lot of customers. Why don't we bring their stories or teach them something that will be useful for them, to show them the hope? So we started in 2020, September, something called Empowering Chocopreneurs webinar. So we brought experts in different fields, different topics, from fermentation in the field for the farmers, all the way to making chocolate, equipment related questions, and business related like marketing, website, whatever you need. So we gave it's when we said it's going to be free. So we also talked to the industry leaders, said please donate your time. We will donate our time to facilitate this, but you donate your knowledge. And so anybody in the community, it doesn't have to be our customers, anybody can join and learn from it. So we have been doing that now for the 4 years, twice a month, but sometimes it's only once a month because there will be some big chocolate festivals or something. People are busy or some holidays, then we don't have that during the time. And all those resources are there in our website, and people can watch it anytime they want. They can just get the it's not published yet because we're trying to work on something how to make it accessible for everyone. But right now, if people, all the topics are listed in our website, so they can go there and choose the topic they would like to learn, send an email, they'll get a permission to sorry, not permission, like credentials to watch it.
So, can you tell your website here?
Yes, it's cocotown.com. COCOATOWN.com. Like a cocoa town. Cocoa is the cacao. In Spanish they call it
Kaka.
cacao, but rest of the
Kaka.
world, yeah.
Got it.
And in Brazil they call it the cacao with KAKOU. In Spanish it's CACAO. And different countries they have different spellings, but we have the American spelling, which is cocoa town.
And in your entire town, of course, we had this high moments and fascinating moments everywhere, but there is two astonishing moments, or pivotal moments, according to me, is 2008 and 2020. It was like a neck-breaking situations. But during those neck-breaking situations, maybe you're in 2008, for example, you were by then back then still doing those, like mixie grinder manufacturing unit. That neck-breaking situation gave you a new, you made an opportunity out of there. Hey, how did you even get a thought to make a call to those list of people to find what exactly they're doing, and how did you zero in on that? Hey, let's start doing with cocoa and chocolate mix. You came up with the very idea of cocoa town from the very problem you had in 2018. That's an extreme level of intelligence, according to me, to get an opportunity out of it, to have a very idea about doing this. That's one thing. 2020 again is a world got shut down, and that gave a rise for the webinar connect. That's again a business stream, knowledge stream repository I've done. And first of all, what do you feel about yourself, about this, about yourself on this exemplary work on these two occasions? That's something I like to ask first. How do you feel about yourself? Secondly, what are the thoughts behind that?
What
You
do I
can take
think
your
about
time.
myself? I always think I'm blessed.
Sorry,
Yeah. See, what do I think about myself is, what do I think about myself? He asked. I just don't
feel
think
you
too much
feel about
about
yourself.
myself.
Okay.
I don't think too much about myself. They say you have to look inner side what you are. But for me, I think I'm just a God's gift. And God
Yeah.
makes me do all these things. I'm just, what do you call the puppet show? I'm the puppet.
Okay.
The God is the puppeteer. Okay. I'm
Okay.
just executing what He's telling me.
Okay.
Okay. And then,
How did you even make that
so
first
what
step to
made
make a
me,
call?
it comes to me. Like,
That's
like I said, my objective is to help people. Okay. As many people as
to
you
help
can.
people.
Like they say,
Okay.
yeah. If you have to help at least one person a day in your life, every day, to get. See, the other
Okay.
philosophy my grandmother taught is, sorry, actually, you can make it as a two philosophies. One is, she will say, even if you put oil all over your body and roll on the, sand, like in the beach, only certain sand will stick. You cannot take all the
Yeah.
sand with you, right? So whatever is destined to you will come to you. Number two is when you go, you cannot even take a penny with you, right? You go the way you came. You come with nothing, you go with nothing. But the karma that comes from your actions, that's going to stay for generations. So what I am doing today is of all the good karmas my ancestors did long time ago, because the karma is passed on by generations.
Yeah.
So when my grandmother healed so many people, she helped so many people, will used to come her for family disputes, and sometimes they come from out of town. They will travel 2 3 hours to come and get her advice. The whole family will come because they know that when she says something, like going to the court, right? You believe in the judge when they give the judgment. The same way they will trust her, that she has so much wisdom and she will say the right thing for everyone. So she has solved a lot of disputes in the extended families. And sometimes people we don't even know they used to come because they hear about her and they used to come for her counseling. So she always said you have to do good for other people. So that's the only thought we always have. So that's why during the pandemic we thought through it, and they said we are fortunate in US. We get the PPP loan and we could bring the employees back, and we were not shut down for a long time. But there are countless people. Can we help them? So that's when we came up with the idea of empowering Jacopreneurs webinar. So and then, so when you believe in something and then you go to people, it's very easy to convince them. So we told them, and those people we approached, they, like I said, they were also very nice. They were open, they were willing to share their knowledge free, because it takes a lot of time. They had to prepare at least 2 3 hours because it's a 2 hour webinar. And then we do the like a mock thing for like 10 15 minutes before the show. And before the webinar, they had come again half an hour early to do the last minute mic check, all the technology checks. So they are donating so much of their time, valuable time, because they know at the end it's going to benefit a lot of people. So that's why when you're doing something for the good of other people, the universe finds the way to help you. And so
You're giving a lot of goosebumps moment. Exactly. I personally also felt that. But it's so beautifully said. When you are trying to help others, world conspires to help you. And I just like to just tell on a funny note. When we meet big giants and people, when they ask them, hey, what is a success story, success formula, people, what do you think, what were you thinking about this when you started? We all expect some complicated terminologies and lectures from the concerned person, but they come up with very simple ideas. For example, Steve Jobs, when people are asking, what was your idea about Apple 3 trillion like company whatsoever, did you even say no? His answer, I think, Mm, uh, hey, to just have fun. I started Apple so that every day I feel happy, to have fun, kind of it. So it's just very simple philosophy he followed. It's just like being happy and fun. And likewise, I was expecting a big, you know, if it's you coming from physics, I was literally expecting some complex scenarios. But hey, just doing help one person every single day. This philosophy drove you, thanks to your grandma, all through your life. Even that gave all the big, bounds in your life. Which is really, 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 thought provoking for everybody. Probably
yeah.
this is a very new dimension. I don't know. I have not been in business, but this at least that gave an alternative perspective for the very business thing. So
See, my
a lot of
mom was
gold.
also like that, to tell you, to extend it, because it's not just my grandma telling me, I also saw my mom living to that. Because, every day, like when she was like, she passed away when she was 70, but, she used to help a lot of people. Sometimes we used to say, why are you straining yourself and helping others? She'll say, no, no, that's okay. She asked me to help. I have to do what I can. Even that some people used to take advantage of her. For example, the sesame seeds, it's a lot of preparation
Yeah,
to wash it and dry it and then
yeah,
save
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then there are some people, like some extended family, they will come and ask her, can you do it? And like when she was 68, if we had to climb the stairs to go upstairs and to dry it, she has to carry the water to do it, because we didn't have the flowing water, right? We had to get
Yeah,
water
yeah.
from the pipe
Mm,
and then carry it in the pots. And then she will wash it and then dry it, we save it and then give it to them, and they will sell it in their store. We say, why are you doing it free? They are doing as a business. You should not be doing this. She will say, no, she asked for help, I have to help. And then there was one grandma in our city. She was very old. She used to go to other people's house and cook and help them get whatever little bit money. And when she could not cook anymore, my mom used to cook every day and then take it to her. And then one of my aunt will, used to make a comment. She will say, I give little bit rasam to her because she cannot cook. She's old. And then she will go and give it half of it to the other grandma, and she cannot even walk sometimes. Sometimes she has to sit on the platform that the shops will have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
bench or something.
yeah.
She will sit there, and then she had to go, like she cannot even continuously walk because she live a little bit far. But still, every day she used to take it and give it to the grandma, make sure she's fed. So they all did beyond their physical levels. Like, you
Yeah.
have to be really dedicated and believe what you are doing, to do that level. When you're looking at all those things, what I'm doing is very, very little. I'm not doing that like kind of hard work. I'm connecting people, but they did a lot more hard work, you
I
know.
believe, yeah. So it's all about the belief that we have, and also the idea we have is not self-centered. Rather, it is or self. I don't say selfless, but rather also inclusive for the society, for the
Vasudeva
people around.
Kudumbakam.
Yeah, it's
Vasudeva
also
Kudumbakam.
it's like inclusive community. It's all about the family, grow as a family. What best, what smallest help we can do. Having that ideology and believing in that and just repeating it every single day with utmost dedication, use as a system to just flourish. Yeah, and as you just went by, there is also one nuance that I observed in your story. You can also you can just acknowledge or you can just answer about it. Did you have this habit of learning lessons from every single person around you? Because you said you learned something from grandma. Did you have this practice of learning from people around? Because most of the biggest lesson, probably technically you are a successful person, okay, in the globe because you run a business which has in 100 plus countries. So technically business. But the beautiful part is most of your lessons which you learned is are from humble people that you see regularly in your house. Probably most of the people may not even know what's there in the next street and next city. And you took all the lessons from that. So, would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, see, it's like when my parents and my grandmother were like that, it's not just me, like my sister, my brother, my older sister, everybody in our family has repeated. My sister today, she's single, like she lost her husband, but still, every day she's helping people. Like, I remember when I went to one time to her house, her neighbor had gone out of town, and then somebody came at night, 11 o'clock, and then she went and made food for them, and then, so, gave them. I said, why are you doing that? Well, she said, oh, that guy, he doesn't like the guy, his in-laws. So whenever the in-laws say they are coming, he will lock the house and go out of town. So they're here, poor people, they don't know that, the daughter and son-in-law are not here, but they would have come tired. They need some food. So she will cook for them at 11 o'clock at night. And she will make sure, the same way like my grandmother and mother, everybody is fed. She helps, and my brother is like that. Even today, he's retired. Even he is in the working in the bank, he used to help so many people. And my uncle, he used to be in the revenue department, and he helped wherever he helped people. He was a very honest person. So he has in his life, I think 30 years or something he worked, he was transferred to 35 cities
Oh
because
my
because he
God.
was so honest. He won't get bribed, he won't let other people have bribes, so they will keep transferring him. One time even he will say, MGR told him, Chettiar, I know you are a honest person, but unfortunately, I have to give pressure. I'm getting the pressure from some other place, so I have to transfer you. And like that, he lived to be 92. He just passed away like this year, but he has made impact in so many people's lives because for example, I remember in 1960s they had the scheme for the widows. They get like 30 rupees a month as a stipend from the government, and people will ask for 100 rupees to get that thing done. He will do it free. He'll go to each house and say, do you need any help? Because there are a lot of poor people, and he helped them. A lot of things he did. So it's like in our, maybe it's in our genetics, I don't know.
Okay.
So that's what it's happening. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. Tell me the question, not the first
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
again. Sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying
And then
to.
and um and then you can continue with that. I can just rephrase the question. And yes, you have learned it. So as you said, you have something in your genetics which is helping others. Got it. And you learned most of your lessons from your humble people around, which is also fantabulous. So, what is your information for the new generation and from this point of angle, not necessarily they got not necessarily for the people who are aspiring to be business magnates, but then in general, what is your lesson from your life? What you'd like to tell from this very take on?
Okay. Just like you have an appetite for new foods, right? You get crazy about pizza or something new food from some other country, you want to try it, new foods. You have to have the hungry for your mind also. You have to develop your mind. The only way you can develop your mind is having an open mind and then read a lot and then look at the opportunity. Like, you don't know where the lessons come from. You can learn from everyone, everything, nature, everywhere. Um, I'd like to learn as much as possible. Thus, I'm curious. I'm curious. The
Yeah.
curiosity is sometimes they say the curiosity killed the cat, but it's not true. The curiosity helps you. You cannot be nosy. Okay, nosy is a problem,
Exactly. A cat
but
with a
curious
big nose
and
is a problem, but not with the ears.
so yeah, learn as much as you can about everything because the new generation sometimes they say, "Oh, if it's that interesting, I'll go to YouTube and learn."
Uh,
No, look around, be in the present. That's the sort of thing I see missing nowadays because people are always thinking something. Either they are on the social media with the instant gratification, or they want to be active all the time, but you need a downtime too. So, like I sleep 8 hours, so you need to take enough rest and eat well, like eat the healthy food and be open minded and try to absorb the good things from wherever it comes from.
Thank you so much, Andal. You know, there are a lot to talk. We are going to talk, but to just give the key points here, we are going to talk about your idea of karma and your very philosophy and your own saying, I would rather say. God gives what you need, not what you want. What is that? We are going to talk about it. And when people, there are like, we have this big CEOs talk about we need to work 70 plus hours every day. You being a business magnate, vouch for sleep 8 hours every single day. Do not sacrifice it. That's a paradigm shift, according to me. And we'll talk about it. And most importantly, your attitude towards it. Yes, you do your service, but I do it 9 to 5, and I'm off on the weekends. My life is important, and your life is important. Business is important. The way you struck the balance.
transforming minds and enriching lives.